Hey guys, how's it going? I know it's been a long time. I've missed you guys. I've missed the studio. I've missed every bit of it. But hey, let's not worry about all that and get into all the where you been, how's it going. That all will be revealed later. Most importantly, today we're here to talk about comic book movie costumes. And I think I know a little thing or two about superhero costumes. See what I mean? Yeah, this is my Spider-Man costume. I use it for birthday parties and movie premieres. I've been wanting to show it off for a while now. And I thought, what better time than now when I want to talk about comic book movie costumes. Because, you know, pretty recently, they revealed Batman's new suit in the Justice League movie. It's got these goggles and stuff. And personally, I was a little, drawn back. I was like, you guys did so good with the Ben Affleck Batman suit, and I feel like you've taken a step back with this one. Like, the coloring isn't, like, it's starting to blend together again, which is something I hate. And I was just thinking, sitting there seeing that suit, I was thinking, what really makes an awesome comic book movie suit? And then I thought, there's three things that really make a comic book movie suit great. And let's talk about that today with our very first one. Alright, so the first big thing that we really have to talk about here is texture. Texture is very important when it comes to a comic book movie suit. And how we're going to do this is we're going to give some bad examples and some good examples. I'm going to try to give more good examples than I do bad because I'm a positive person. And so to get us started here, a bad example, sadly, because let's just, get the bad out of the way. That way the good can make us feel real good inside. And I guess the first bad example I got to do is the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit. I mean, I've heard people compare this thing to, like, it looks like a basketball, like the texture of it. They really messed it up. And there's something about the webbing that's off that I don't really like. And it's just like the coloring of the eyes, it's just the whole texture of the suit. It looks like something that you don't want to touch, because your hand will stick to it or something. It looks like a real sticky material, and it's too glossy and it just overall was not super impressed by this suit. And next we have another good one, and that's going to be Superman from Man of Steel. Regardless of how you feel about the coloring or anything like that, which we'll get to later, but regardless of how you feel about that, the texture of this suit, they just nailed it. Because obviously you can't do spandex in today's day and age. It just looks silly if it was just a straight spandex suit. And so they didn't go overboard with the texture like I feel like they did with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit. They nailed the texture where this really looks like a garment that somebody would wear. Almost, I think they're going for a chainmail look, like an alien chainmail. And I gotta say, they nailed it for me. I loved the suit from Man of Steel, except for the coloring. Like I said, we're gonna get to that later though, don't you worry. And then another good example has got to be Captain America and Captain America the First Avenger. I mean, this suit is just rocking it. It looks like a military uniform that someone would wear, and at the same time like a superhero suit. You see that suit, there's no mistake that's Captain America. And they gave it just enough padding to be like, yeah, I think that thing could take a hit, that could take a couple of bullets, and it really just nailed the whole World War II aesthetic of it all. The texture was just awesome in that suit. Alright, so next up in the very important category of a superhero movie suit is coloring. Coloring is so vital to a good superhero suit, because you don't want to look bland. And that's where we're going to start off with the bad here, with the X-Men uniforms in Bryan Singer's X-Men movies. These things are just black leather. They don't look anything like a superhero suit. As a matter of fact, every time I watch the first X-Men movie and Cyclops is like, what would you prefer, yellow spandex? I'm like, yes, a yellow freaking spandex suit. And don't even get me started on Wolverine and nobody wearing a mask. I mean, it's just stupid. They're not supposed to be like a paramilitary group. They're superheroes. I mean, maybe it's just me, but maybe we should kick Bryan Singer to the curb for a little while and let someone else who isn't afraid to dash a little bit of color in those suits use that. Which, by the way, let's talk about the Wolverine suit they didn't use. That was made for the Wolverine. It was perfect. It had his mask. It was colorful. It just looked great. And don't give me that bull crap that Wolverine wouldn't wear a suit. He's worn a suit for years in the comics. The movies just need to go, oh, people have accepted this in the comics, let's just make it in the movies. I mean, if Batman can be acceptable wearing a suit, Wolverine, you better believe you can wear a suit, buddy. And please, in Logan, just let there be a flashback scene of him wearing that suit, because they teased this in the trailer. They were like, oh, look at these dumb comic books with him wearing the mask. It's like, yeah, these dumb comic books that without your movie would be nothing. And I don't even know if any of you know what the comic book Doctor Doom looks like, but here he is, just looks menacing, powerful. You see him, you think a ruler of a country, a guy you don't want to mess with. So why in the world, in Fan 4-Stick, did they make him look like this? He looks like a C-3PO reject. He looks like a design they made for Star Wars where they were like, nah, that looks a little too dumb for us. Send him over there. Like there's some B movie that can use him. And it's just terrible. The coloring in it is so off. It's just all silver. He's got green eyes, and it's all silver. And oh my gosh, what a terrible, terrible suit color-wise. Just so bland. And just looking at like a little. It's like if you ever had one of those like metal figurines from a Monopoly like game set, and you melted it, that would look like Doctor Doom. Which is why I'm so glad to get out of this crap fest that are the X-Men and Fantastic Four suits, and get on to a big, great suit filled with the perfect colors, and that is the Batfleck suit, or the Ben Affleck Batman suit, Batman vs. Superman. Holy crap, I know I'm coming back to this one, but when I saw this suit for the first time, I was like, it's got gray. It's got gray. He's got the black and the gray. He looks perfect. He looks so good. They nailed the coloring of that suit, regardless of what you think about the movie. That suit is phenomenal, and the coloring is a big part of that. Which makes me sad to move on to the bad, which is pretty much every other Batman suit we've ever had. From Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer to George Clooney to Christian Bale. Bland, bland, bland. All one color. I don't care how many little details you add to it or how many lines you etch into it, Christopher Nolan. It's still a bland suit. It's all black. It looks, especially now when we have the amazing specimen of the Ben Affleck Batman suit. You really look back and you're like, what were they thinking? Why? Why? And it's sad to think, after the Ben Affleck suit, the closest suit to comic book accurate we've had is the Adam West Batman suit. That's the closest one we've had to the right comic book colors. Oh, just a sad, sad day. Alright, and now the single most important thing about a comic book movie suit is that it is accurate to the comic book character it represents. That, as long as you make, like, you can look at it and go, oh, that looks a lot like the suit I love in the comic books. And a good example of that, surprisingly, from the X-Men universe, is Beast from X-Men 3. Not the best X-Men movie, but they nailed Beast in that. Like, he just looked so cool. Like, the blue fur, they weren't afraid to be like, hey, this is a fantastical, colorful character. I wonder why we wouldn't give these up. Like, why is it more believable that there's a blue furry man than that a tough guy would wear a mask? I don't get it. Okay, back on to the good. With the ultimate comic book accurate movie suit has got to be the Christopher Reeve Superman suit. Even if, you know, now, looking back now, it might look a little silly. This literally looks like it just was spat right out of the page. Like, it's perfect. Everything about this suit screams comic book Superman. They even gave him the red, you know, underwear on the outside, which I'm all for, by the way. Come on, man. He's Superman. He's not supposed to, like, make sense. The red underwear on the outside. Come on, give it back. Henry Cavill. Come on. I know you watch these videos, buddy. Just, you know, one day while you're on set, just sneak those red underwear on, you know? And who's going to tell you no? Who's going to fight you, man? You're massive. Jason Momoa, Aquaman? No, man. Nobody's going to tell you no. Come on, dude. And then moving right on to my favorite. My favorite comic book character, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. Come on, dude. This literally looks like it was spat right out of the page. I remember when I first saw this with the big goggles and the color and the everything just looked so good. Yes, even if that movie wasn't the best Spider-Man movie, holy crap, this suit was just so awesome, and the way that, like, the poses he did, everything about it was so comic book accurate. It was just like, yes, that is the Spider-Man I want to see. And it's still, to this day, the best Spider-Man suit. I love you, Tom Holland. I even like your suit, but I gotta give Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, the one-up on this one. Just such a great comic book accurate movie suit. Guys, we have another quick announcement before we head out of this video, and that is that today is actually the 1-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. I'm so excited, but in honor of that, pretty soon we're going to have a 1-year epic awesome video. And I wanted a very special part of that video to be dedicated to you guys, the people who subscribe. And so if you would leave your comments down below, and like any questions, the Q&A will be in that video. So any question you have at all, appropriate questions, type them down below, and I'll make sure to answer every single one of them on that video. And just thank you guys so much for helping me reach 100 subscribers. And you guys are the best. I love you guys. And like I said, just comment down below any questions you have for me, and look forward to that video soon, guys. And I know you might be sad because I'm sure there's so many other suits that you love or hate that I didn't bring up, but maybe we'll talk about those in a later video. Cheers!